Oh, hi there. Welcome to whatever this is. I'm Fox, I'm the president of the Treći Zmaj Society and the coordinator or co-chair, however we want to call it in English, of Eurocon 2020 or the 23rd Recon or Futuricon. It's all written there. Before we start, I would like to say two things. One, if by any chance you are wondering whether or not I am wearing pants while holding this presentation from home, keep wondering. And two, this is actually coffee, not just future product placement. Before we begin, I would like to congratulate the team from Sfera for organizing all of this in such short notice. This is practically a full online convention and they've only done it in less than 2 months, definitely less than 2 months, maybe even around a month or so. Thank you to everyone who is participating, congratulations to Sfera, and thank you for the opportunity to present this. Now, I'm going to keep this short, so let's get right down into the details and updates regarding Futuricon. Now, the first and possibly most important question is Futuricon going to happen? The answer is yes. The second question is it going to be a huge international party where we all get drunk together and stand too close to each other and some people probably touching each other somewhere in a dark corner while being drunk, in addition to all of the lectures, panels, workshops, booths and everything? The answer is we have absolutely no idea. First of all, we have no idea if the ban on events is going to be lifted until the end of 2020. That is something that we have to take into consideration, and if we do not know the answer in time, we are ready to do something similar to this and make it an online Eurocon. I know this is a precedent to a degree, and it's not something that we really want to do, obviously, because we like hanging out together, but it is something that we might have to do. We are definitely not going to cancel all of the Eurocon, although when the whole thing started and they mentioned a full ban on events, I was just ready to give some awards in some online way and then just throw the rest under the bus, but that's definitely not something that we want. If we can organize a good online convention, we want to do it the same way as Sfera did it here. That being said, there are some other indications about what might happen in the future around Rijeka. For example, we know that traveling from other countries is problematic right now, and we have no idea how long the travel restrictions will continue, or how long countries will recommend their citizens not to leave and visit other countries. I know the situation with the coronavirus here in Croatia is really good, and we are reopening the country. We are hoping for a reasonable summer tourist season, so we don't actually know what it's going to look like in the future. For example, bars are opening tomorrow, so it doesn't sound too bad. But I heard that around Europe other countries are also slowly opening up as well, so who knows what might happen until October. The second thing is that, for example, the main program of the European Capital of Culture 2020, which was our city, was in a way cancelled, and funding for it was removed until the end of the year, also possibly. So that's a big thing to lose, so if they are willing to risk losing that, then I suppose that other more or minor events or less relevant events for the cultural sort of mainstream are also less important. So this was just a theoretical update. Obviously we are going to keep you posted, and I hope we are going to have full answers to all of these questions somewhere until mid-June. That is the deadline that I am giving myself to make a decision on whether or not Futuricon is going to be live or digital. So when we know, you are going to know as well. When we recently made the announcement on social networks and our website, this is the visual identity of Futuricon. and it represents a statue of the shipbuilder, or well, it is inspired by the statue of the shipbuilder that is located here in town, except in our case it is holding a spaceship. Spaceship? Is that what I wanted to say? Yeah. A space shuttle, I'm sorry. Now, why the shipbuilder? Because it symbolizes how getting together and working hard can help us achieve goals, achieve a better future, and achieve a more prosperous future for everyone. That is what shipbuilding, at some point in the past at least, symbolized here in Rijeka. Now it's almost a remnant of the past, but not quite yet, so we have no idea what's going to happen with it. But for us, the statue, or well, this visual identity and images represent SFeraKON, or making a better future. This obviously has to be represented through programming as well, so let's talk about the program for just a bit. Now, our initial programming submissions lasted from November 2019 to the 1st of March this year, and we collected a good chunk of programming items through that. We're quite happy with the submissions. Obviously, this is going to be filled a bit more over time. This is all obviously pretending that SFeraKON is going to be a full live event happening on location during the first weekend of October. Obviously, things are going to change if we go digital. Some things that I can emphasize from the currently received submissions, some talks, for example, related to science fiction, problem of consciousness in philosophy and science fiction. Do humans behave like electric sheep, for example? The pulp renaissance of the 21st century. There are several items related to Czech SF, which is also a nice thing to include and promote. Then, for example, from the Library of Alexandria to software libraries on GitHub, so more IT oriented, as well as Bird Brain Genius, or Bird BRAIN Genius, the reach and limitations of machine intelligence. These are all topics about either self-exploration or exploring the future that we hold for ourselves. We are not going to just label them SFeraKON or something like that, it's not relevant, but all programming items that explore how we become better, either as a civilization, society, or people, is definitely welcome. As for other programming items such as quizzes, there are over 10 planned so far, maybe even more, but I didn't count everything too specifically. Some include the most popular franchises as their quiz topics, some are about music, some are more general or generic in nature, and there is also a Studio Ghibli quiz. And now we can enter a very long debate whether it is Ghibli or Ghibli, but we can take that to Discord during the Q&A after this presentation. I am not going to mention everything, of course, but as I said, we are happy with the amount of submissions, and this is definitely going to be further enhanced by the programming from our guests of honor and partnerships. Our guests of honor, so far we have announced two. The first one we have announced was Adrian Tchaikovsky, the British author. He hasn't been a guest at Eurocon so far, though he has been a guest in Croatia 2 years ago. He's a very nice person and a very prolific author currently, and a very acclaimed author, so we are going to be happy to hear him talk about himself and his work, and to teach us more about how to be better authors. The second the second guest of honor we announced is Ivica Puljak. Is that right? I think it's Ivica Puljak, yeah. He's a famous and high-quality Croatian scientist who is going to talk to us about many things about our future, and we are very happy to have him on board for SFeraKON. When it comes to partnerships, especially local partnerships, we have so far made preliminary deals with the University of Rijeka. They are both going to be our allies in terms of organization and in terms of programming. Then the Natural History Museum, who are interested in achieving a partnership when it comes to maritime exploration with the help of another friend of ours who has been in Croatia in 2018, Otton Purser, and who is also holding talks, I think, or who already had talks during this weekend of SFeraKORon. Then we have the Center for Technical Culture of Rijeka. They are interested in holding workshops for both children's programming and for adults, of course. And they are very creative, very active, and they hold programming throughout the year here in town, and we're very happy to have them on board. Another thing we might do is we might hold a puppet show during our children's programming. We are having these talks with the Rijeka City Puppet Theatre. They are also very hardworking and fantastic people. And they also have some programming for adults. Not in the weird sense you might think, and it doesn't include puppet shows. It does include some lectures and workshops regarding puppeteering in general and the history of puppeteering, so it might be very interesting to listen. Obviously, these are all things that are so far planned if the programming is live and not digital, so obviously some things might change. Another thing that is exclusive for holding a live convention are booths. So far we have had 17 submissions for booths. This is a nice number in line with what we have had the last couple of years, which fills out the space nicely. However, for FuturiCon we plan to have double the amount of space, so obviously we have twice the amount of room for booths. So expect another round of invitations for that in the future, again, if we go live. One more thing that I have to mention, of course, is cosplay. Cosplay has become a very important part of the Croatian fandom over the last 10 years, and we have not forgotten about you even for Eurocon 2020 or FuturiCon. However, we are going to be changing some things that we've been used to over the last couple of years, and we are going to make it more simpler, or let's call it something like back to roots cosplay. Prejudging is gone, but it will be included in a more limited or just shorter, briefer way during the cosplay fashion show. There will be fewer categories, but this will be expanded if the expert judges decide that it should be expanded based on the amount of competition. There will be a sort of mini fashion show on Friday, just for people who can make it on Friday, and some other changes in this line. There's other information that I should share with you, but we need to make sure that FuturiCon is going to take place live for all of this to make any sense. So we're going to wait until early June for this. In any case, if we don't have a live convention, we can also shift cosplay to be an online event like this online convention has successfully done. So really nice job when it comes to that. I'm really proud of my friends from Sfera, how they handled this entire weekend. Now, just to wrap this up, during this online convention you were able to see, you had the opportunity to see our promotional video. So we are going to also publish it on our social networks and websites tomorrow after this online convention SFeraKORon is over. And once again, thank you to Sfera, thank you to everyone who listened, and thank you for following us on our website and social networks, Recon and FuturiCon. We are going to keep you updated in the near future with all of the new developments there. Again, well done for this entire online thing, and see you soon. Obviously, I'm here on Discord, so if you have some more questions, there is a time slot to specifically ask them over the next hour or so. See you soon, I hope. I don't think any of us are going to be hugging each other soon. That's more like a no-no for a bit longer. But we can do the whole elbow thing without a problem. Have fun. See you.